And let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Whether this is your first time joining us, you've been here from the beginning, or you straight up sick of us. Thank you for tuning in once again. Or again, if this is your first time, what's up? How you doing? Hey. I'm here with my lovely co-host, DRE.
What it is.
And I am he who pods. He with too many pods. God damn that nigga pods. AKA
The Podmeister.
the Podmeister. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden calls himself the Pod Father. And so I'm trying to find a cool little nickname for me, the guy with so much podding going on.
Right.
So I don't got it yet. It's a work in progress. We'll see. When I get some cool shit, y'all gonna hear it. But for now, I figure everybody knows He Who Remains from Loki. So I'm He Who Pods. Today, Dre is he who don't know how to turn on Do Not Disturb.
I put it on there, so I don't know what's going on. I certainly did.
Apple ain't fucking caring. Apple's like, listen, man.
Apple's like, listen, man. We don't give a
You
fuck.
gonna get these notifications.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Anyway, welcome back. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun. We're wasting no time today. We're diving right in. Dre has our sponsored by. Talk to him, Dre.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Episode 41.
41.
You know what I mean?
Never mind. I'm about to get my Telemundo on.
4-1. We about to,
You
you
know what I'm
I
saying?
mean? All right. But okay, so today's sponsored by, it is a rice alternative. So there's a lot of people who do the keto diet, right? And the keto diet is like no carbs or very, very low carbs.
That's right. It's a
basically-
high-fat, low-carb diet.
Right. And so if that is what you're doing, I found this really good rice alternative that I'm now using. Not that I'm necessarily low carb, but I am going through a cut right now. So I am doing a lot more veggies and a lot more protein or meat and not as much carbs. So this is rice veggies, and it is a rice alternative. Basically, it's just cauliflower. It looks like rice. It has the consistency of rice, but when you taste it, it definitely tastes like cauliflower. Now, the good thing here is, it's way less calories, right? So,
of course,
we would say like rice will probably be about 150, 200 calories, perhaps per serving. This is something like maybe 25, 50 calories. So it's way, way less. And so you get that consistency and it kind of fills you up. But you're getting a lot less calories. And it's super quick, easy to make. I'm going to throw a picture up right now. And as you can see, it comes in this like bag. You can throw it in the microwave. You can put it in the pot if you want. But I like to have it with fish. In this picture, you can see that it's some tilapia that I had it with, and
nice.
Yeah, man, like give it a try. If you're trying to cut the calories down and you're trying to maybe have less carbs, I say, hey, try this out. It looks like rice. It has a consistency of rice, but you're going to have way less calories than having actual white rice. So
absolutely,
riced veggies, cauliflower prepared to look like rice. Boom.
And I'll give you a little tip on the side here to add on to that. If you want to make it at home, it's really easy to make at home. If you have a food processor, all you have to do is cut up your cauliflower, put it in the food processor, and that's it. You have your riced cauliflower. I mean, you got to cook it, obviously. But there's your prep time. 30 seconds in the food processor. You may be able to do it in the blender. I don't know. I know about doing it in the food processor. So, hey, give it a shot.
Yeah. And if you
So
the bag you saw in the picture is basically already done for you. Save a
yeah,
little bit of time.
yep.
Throw it in the microwave. It takes about 4 minutes, and you're in
It's a
and out.
steam bags, right?
Yeah, some steam bags. I love those, man.
Me
That's
too.
really
I do a
changed
lot
my
of my
life.
veggies like that.
Yeah, it's super convenient. Just in
Yeah.
and out.
When I'm in a rush, that's what
Right.
I use. I usually, when I go to Walmart, I buy a lot of bagged of those steam bag vegetables, different kinds. And then on the day I'm in a rush, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in a rush today. You know what I'm gonna do? Throw this shit in the microwave 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then I'll season it and add it to whatever I'm cooking. The other day I did actually, that's how I did my vegetable fried rice I showed you the other day. I had
Yeah.
a bag of mixed veggies steamed, and I cooked the cauliflower, not the cauliflower. I cooked the broccoli and the onions while that was steaming,
Yeah.
and while the brown rice was doing its thing.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code. Super smooth, super easy,
Yep.
quick as hell. Love those steam bags. Um,
Yeah, man.
all right, let's go on to fitness. There's a topic that me and Dre are discussing off pod that we decided to bring to the pod. So as you know, we love doing interval training on the elliptical. Dre said last pod he's switching up his style. He got all swole on us. Now he's trying to see how shredded he can get. And so part of that means Dre is upping his cardio time, his interval training time, and tell him what you're doing now so we can have the discussion.
Oh, so now I've upped my cardio. I try to do at least 60 minutes. I say anywhere between 45 minutes to 60 minutes every time I go. And I usually go every day. And so this would be cardio being done 45 minutes to 60 minutes a day. Usually it's 65 minutes because I like to do my little bonus time. But yeah,
That's
that's
right.
what I'm doing right now. I up my, so I up my priority. My priority used to be, okay, how much muscle can I get? Now I'm not strength training. Like I'm still going to strength train, but because the cardio is now a priority, I try to make sure I do that every time I hit the gym.
Right. So we had a small discussion off pod because many moons ago, which we've said here plenty of times before, but many moons ago, we were both doing 65 minutes of interval training. We've also said on this pod, it was too much. We were wilding, and Dre even said on one pod, like his knees used to be hurting afterwards. And that's what Dre is now doing again. I don't approve. And so we're here to debate. So I did research in I want to say 15 or 16.
Yeah, somewhere about there.
I had tons of free time and no job, and I was just doing research and looking into things that I thought were interesting or that I liked. And I found out that we were doing too much interval training. Now, why do I stress the words interval training? We have already discussed what we do here on the elliptical. On the elliptical, in case this is your first time ever listening, what we do is we alternate the levels of resistance. And so we start on a higher level, and then when that time frame that we're sticking to is done, we switch to a different level for a different amount of time. For example, when I'm on the elliptical, I do 3 minutes, for example, on level 14. And then when my 3 minutes are over, for 1 minute, I do level 12 or 13, usually 13, 14 and 12. Yeah, 2 levels down, it would be level 12 for 1 minute. Then I go back to 3 minutes. So I would say my intervals are 3-1. 3 minutes on high, 1 minute on low. And I do that over and over for a set amount of time. Many moons ago, we did 5 and 5. 5 minutes on the higher one, 5 minutes on the lower one. And we continued those rotations or intervals for 65 minutes. And so that's what Dre is back to doing. In 2015, 2016, when I did the research, I found out that you're not supposed to do more than 45 minutes of interval training. And I shared this information with Dre, sent him the links, etc. And we agreed, wow, we were bugging the fuck out. It says that after a certain amount of time doing the interval training, you are damaging your muscles, you are depleting muscles, and also you can cause long-term damage to some of your joints. I feel like there was one more thing. You remember anything else? That's the stuff I remember off top.
No, I think you kind of hit it. Yeah.
Okay. I feel
Yeah.
like there was one more thing, but I can't remember. But bear with me. That was 6-7 years ago. So those are the things that we found out, and neither of us would. We both said, yeah, from now on, we should not be doing 65 minutes regularly. If you feel like, yo, today I want to hit 65 minutes, fuck it, then cool. But on a regular basis, we shouldn't be doing it. And
Right.
now here's Dre sending me stats, because for those who don't know, that's what we like to do. We like to send each other meals, but also stats. So Dre would say, hey man, I just left the gym. Check out my chest and triceps workout. Hey, I just hit the elliptical. Check out my elliptical stats. It's fun for us. This is what we like to do.
Right.
And so he started sending me these 65-minute stats back to back. And I'm like, son, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm getting it in. I'm getting busy. I'm doing what we do. And I'm like, no, that's not what we do. We don't do 65 minutes anymore. We've discussed this. He's like, nah, I'm doing 65 minutes. And so he was like, you know what? Let's talk about it on the pod. And here we are. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
So the question would be, well, Dre, what's different? Why did you go back? And the answer is this. I'm not saying that research is wrong. But the way I feel about research, science, studies it is, and even for most people listening, I feel like don't necessarily do what I do, right? Like where we are advanced when it comes to doing this. So we've been doing this elliptical shit for 10 years, maybe more,
I'm
10
about to
years or
say,
more.
yeah, coming up on 10 years. I know for me, you've been doing it longer.
Yeah, I've been
My
doing it for like
10
15.
year anniversary, my 10-year anniversary in fitness is coming up in February.
So 10 plus years for both of us, right? So it's like, okay. So you gotta look at it in terms of a person who's just jogging and a person who runs marathons. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have a different workout. So for me, I'm way more advanced now. You know what I'm saying? So when I do the 65 minutes, like back in the day when I did 65 minutes, my heart rate might be at 180 or something like that. Like crazy. Like
I
I'm
remember
really
that
putting a lot of,
200. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 180, 200. Now 130, maybe 140, 150 the highest. Well, why is that? My body's used to it. It's not a shock anymore. So my goal right now is to get as many calories burned as I can, right? So obviously diet comes first. That has nothing to do with this conversation. So yes, the
Right.
diet has to be on point. But in terms of cardio, I'm looking at cardio like how many calories can I get done within this time? So the difference between 30 minutes and 60 minutes is obviously like double. So for me,
Right.
because I am more advanced right now, I can take it. I would not recommend this to any of my clients. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone listening. And we got to also understand when people do their research or whatever, they have to say the sort of like average, right? So they're trying to find the average because remember, nobody wants to get sued. You can't come out there and tell people, oh, yeah, it's okay for you to do this. And then they get a heart attack and they're like, well, I was listening to your advice. So when we look up things in terms of like research and studies, I'm not saying that these things are wrong. I'm saying we got to understand the audience, and they have a general audience just like we do. And so they have to say the thing that's safe. So I would always tell people, hey, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, that's all you really need to do. But we also say, hey, you got to listen to your body. And if I have to listen to my body and I do 30 minutes and I'm realizing, yo, I could have did more, right? And so I'll do 60 minutes. I'll do 60 minutes. Now, let's say 2 or 3 months go by and I've been doing 60 minutes continuously, and I might feel a pain or a hurt. Guess what? I'm gonna slow it down and be like, yo, my body is not feeling this right now. But I'm doing it and I'm feeling great. Also, I'm thinking about what we did back then. I'm like, man, when I was at my, let's say, thinnest, maybe you might say the same thing. I was doing the 65 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at, man, when I was doing more cardio, I had way less body fat, and I was at a place that I'm trying to like get back to. So if I'm at a place that I'm trying to get back to, I'm going to start doing some of the things I used to do before. And that is, the more cardio I do, the more I can like burn things off. So everything is an experiment, and we believe in self-experimentation. So right now I'm like, hey, let me go back to what I was doing before. Let me see how this goes. Let me see how it feels. I did it one day, feel great. Did the next day, feel great. Did the next day, feel great. I'm still feeling great. I don't have any pains. And you got to also remember, I'm way older now than 10, 15 years ago, right? So it's like, man, I'm actually older, but even though I'm older, I feel stronger. I'm way more experienced than I was. I have, my knowledge in fitness is way more than it used to be ever. And so I'm more at the professional expert level right now. So I would never tell someone, oh yeah, just do what I'm doing. I think that was our biggest mistake. We would be like, yo, we do 65, you're going to do 65, you're going to do 65. And it's like, yo, people would be like dying. And we just be like, oh, hey, you rocking with us. This is what we do, son. This is how we get down.
This is what we do,
like,
baby.
And it's like,
That's
no,
it.
that's a problem. Just because we can do it doesn't mean everybody else can do it. And so I'm experimenting on myself and seeing how I feel. And I feel like everyone needs to experiment with themselves, see how they feel when it comes to any kind of workout, whether it's cardio, strength training, someone shows you something new. Hey, self-experiment, see how it feels. I would never tell you, oh, no pain, no gain. Just keep going past the pain. Don't even worry about it. Hell no.
We don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're starting to feel pain, you're starting to feel uncomfortable, bring it way, way down. For me, I don't feel any pains. I'm feeling real comfortable. I get off that. You know the feeling. I get off that. I'm feeling invigorated. You know what I'm saying? Remember that feeling we had, 7, 8 years ago? Like, man, this feels awesome, right? So that's the way I'm feeling right now. And I know it's because I'm way stronger. My legs are way stronger than they have ever been. I mean, you got to also remember, I also sent you, I send you my stats, like you said. You look at my legs, I'm like squatting up to 600 pounds. I'm deadlifting 500 and something pounds. You know what I mean? I've never done that kind of weight before. So my legs are way stronger than they were 10, 12 years ago. So my muscles is like, son, I got you. Right? You want to do another 60? There's nothing. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like you have to do the thing. Everyone has to do the thing that they know they can do. And don't be afraid to challenge yourself. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not saying not to listen to your doctor. I'm not saying not to listen to the research. I'm saying listen to your body first and be informed by these other sources, mm-hmm. And we'll keep going, we'll do more pods. And if I feel like, hey, you know what? This is not working. I got to take it back down to a half or 35 minutes. I'll let y'all know. But as for right now, I'm going to keep this up and I'm going to see, for the next 2-3 months, what kind of results I get and report back. That's basically how I want to do it.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of questions. The first one is, you're not worried about the muscle deterioration because you've been building so much muscle. That's why I ask. You've been focusing on building so much muscle. This level of interval training will be cutting into that muscle you've been working so hard to build. You're not worried about that?
No, good question. The reason why I'm not worried about that is because I'm not stopping my strength training, right? My strength training is not going to go down. I'm not going to, so let's say right now, I say I do a 600 pound squat. I'm not going to try to go for the 650 or the 625. I'm going to keep it at 6. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to bring anything down. I'm going to stay at my levels, whatever levels that I'm doing in terms of when I do leg training, right? So I don't plan on adding more weight, but I definitely plan to maintain where I am. And if I
Okay.
maintain where I am, I can't see any deterioration of the or what we call atrophy. So I don't think the muscles are going to get into atrophy because I'm still building. They're
Okay.
still getting a response. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. My next question is, excuse me. You say your heart rate is a lot lower. Have you lowered your resistance level as well, or no?
So the resistance level is funny. So my resistance level used to be 1311, right? And I still
Okay.
do some, like when I'm at Planet Fitness, I'll still do the 5 and 5,
Okay.
and I think that's the biggest difference between you and I. You still do a way more intense um, elliptical session than me. I don't,
Mhm.
my session is not as intense as yours, meaning that you only give yourself a 1 minute break or
Active
what we
recovery.
call active recovery. So you're only actively recovering for 1 minute. I'll take 5 minutes. I'll take 4 minutes or 3. So when I'm at Planet Fitness, because those machines are so limited, I'm still doing the 5 and 5. There's
Okay.
another gym that I'm part of. They do 4 and 3. So 4 minutes
Okay.
high, 3 minute break, 4 minute high, 3 minute active recovery. That's fine for me. And I was doing 1311. What I'm realizing is that 1311 is not that much of a challenge. So I brought it up to 1513,
Okay.
and sometimes I might do 1715 if I'm really feeling freaky. But right
Mhm.
now, I'm pretty much on 1513 is where I'm kind of like keeping it, and
Okay.
that's feeling like nice and good when I come off. I like that feeling. The 13 has actually been like kind of easy, so I had to step it up.
Got it. That's
Yeah,
interesting. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I that is another reason why, yeah, that was good that you brought that up. I don't go past 45 minutes because of the fact that I'm doing 3-1. And even when I do 45 minutes, I'm like,
it's a lot.
I probably shouldn't have did those last 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
really, I shouldn't be doing more than 40 minutes.
yeah,
Sometimes, like today, I had to pod right before this. Like, I literally did another pod, ended it, and then we started podding. I did not go to the gym because simply I don't have the time today.
right.
Um, and I did everything according to plan. Like I came home, ate, slept, showered, and I was like, all right, when the other pod finishes, I'll run. And then when I come back from the run, I'll pod with Dre. The other pod ended up being 2 hours, no time for running. So
Yeah,
I would often be like, all right, so tomorrow I'm a while out on cardio. I might do 45 minutes because I didn't get to do my half hour. But I honestly try not to do that often because the way I do elliptical, that 3-1 is nuts.
it's
And I
intense.
know and I feel it. I don't have pain, but I feel the exhaustion when I hit that 45 minutes because it's like trying to jackhammer fuck for 45 minutes. You're asking
Right,
your body for a lot of fucking energy and a lot of everything: endurance, stamina, muscle, everything that you have, you're asking for all of it for 45 minutes.
yeah,
Um, so that is why I don't pass those things. That's why I set a hard limit at 45. Because when I do 45, I'm done. Like it don't matter if I slept 8 hours, 12 hours, my body is exhausted. And
yeah,
I'll be honest, maybe that's also because I have not been consistent in the gym. That could also be one of the reasons why. But I know that my intense ass 3-1 should never be done for more than 45 minutes. And I've broken
Yeah.
that to keep it 100% real. I've done an hour of 3-1 and sent it to you. I've done it, but you should not be doing it consistently. Like Dre said, no, I don't recommend it. When people come to the gym with me, they say, hey, what are you doing? I say, don't do what I'm doing. You cannot do what I'm doing. You're going to hurt yourself.
Right. Right.
You can do
And
5 and 5 on a super low level, maybe on
yep,
zero resistance,
of course.
especially
Of
if you're
course.
trying to rock out for the same time as me.
Yeah.
And I often encourage people, don't do as long as me. If I'm
Right.
doing 45 minutes, do 20.
Yes.
If I'm doing a half, maybe do 15, especially if you've never done this before. Yeah, you're 1,000% right, which is why I was laughing when you said it. Before, when it was us with the squad, anytime somebody came in the gym, it was, hey, this is what we do. You're doing what we do. You can do less
Yeah.
resistance. You can do no resistance. But we're doing this for 65 minutes. Buckle your seatbelts. It's about
Right.
to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah.
I no longer do that for all of the reasons Dre said. And yeah, that was a great point. I should never be doing an hour regularly. One thing you said that I would like to respond to, I don't think I have any more questions that I could think of at the moment. One last question, I guess, and then I'll get into what I was going to say. So are you stretching more now? Do you feel the need to stretch more now, or you feel fine so far?
So I never not stretch. Remember,
No, I know, but I'm
as I
asking,
said,
do you feel like you need to stretch for a longer period of time? Okay, that's great.
still 10 minutes. Still 10 minutes.
Okay,
Still 10-minute cool down.
cool.
Every time.
And for the people, I know the answer, but for the listeners and viewers, how long have you now been doing the 65 minutes consistently?
Man, I mean, I've sent you all the stats. So what? Maybe like 2-3 weeks, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. Yeah, it's about
Because
2
you
weeks.
said it last episode that you were gonna
Right.
start.
Yep.
So
And since that
it would
time,
be
I've been
like
like,
2 weeks.
yeah, it's about 2 weeks now.
Mhm.
So yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. The other thing, yeah, like I wanted to say is, I would never do your, I've one time I did that 1 minute in between once,
I
and I
know
never did it
that you
again.
told me about it.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, I would never do this again. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that, and that intensity is way too much for me. I need a little bit more of the active recovery,
Right.
the recovery time. I need a little bit more. So 2 minutes at least, 3 minutes. So for me, it's like if I'm doing 5, 4, or 3, that's what it's about. So like I said, your version of elliptical, the one that you like, is highly intense. If I was doing that, I'd probably only do 20 minutes. And now that I'm thinking about it, if I'm ever in a rush and I'm like, man, I don't have enough time to rock 60 minutes, I might do a 20-minute, with the 1
3-1.
minute, with the 1 minute recovery in there, because I feel like that would probably be almost the equivalent, But honestly, the reason why I don't want it to be so intense and I don't want my heart rate to go up so much is because I don't want to destroy muscle. And so if the heart rate goes up way, way too much and it's way too intense, once your glycogen is gone from your liver, the body will start taking it from fat and sometimes from muscle, because the muscle is doing a lot of work, is incredibly intense. But if I keep
Absolutely.
the intensity down, then the body is not going to take the energy it needs from the muscle. It'll take it from the fat, because it doesn't feel this like high cortisol levels. It doesn't.
Yeah,
feel like that high
it's
stress.
not the danger. Like it's not a full alarm blaze.
Right. It's like, oh, okay, this is a cool, it's a bike ride. This is a cool just a little walk. This is not like,
Right.
oh, it's an emergency. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it feels like this is an emergency, it's going to take it from the muscle, and I don't want to catabolize that muscle, as you were saying. So I need to take it, nice and chill, mid-level. So I'm doing medium. I'm still making sure it's medium intensity cardio. I don't want to do high intensity. A lot of people like high intensity. Not saying anything wrong with high intensity, but for my goal, medium or moderate intensity is exactly where I want to keep it. And with moderate intensity, I can do 60 minutes and feel absolutely fabulous when I get off.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned the last thing I want to respond to, then we can move on to our fun topic.
Yeah.
You mentioned the marathon people. Um, you said this is more like a person jogging versus a person doing a marathon. To be clear, we're not saying you shouldn't do any cardio for 60 minutes. If you feel like, hey, I can get on the elliptical or the treadmill or the bike for an hour, you can rock out. If that's what feels good to you, you can do it. We're just speaking about this interval shit. We're speaking about a very specific style type of cardio. That's what we're referring to. If you feel like, yo, man, I can jog for an hour on the treadmill and I feel great, then go for it. Like, one of the goals, and I guess I could share this with everybody, one of the goals I have now is to jog a little bit more. For a minute, I've been doing 2.5, 3 miles, 2.5, 3 miles. And now I want it to be 3-4 miles. And just like Dre said, I have slowed down the tempo. So I usually on the treadmill, my miles are like 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes a mile. I'm now doing almost 10 minutes a mile. My last jog that was 4 miles the other day, I think it was like 9.5 minutes a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm asking for more, right? The same way Dre said he's taking a longer break during the interval. I'm asking my body for more. I'm pushing now. So I'm not going to try to sprint the 4 miles. I know I'm going to hurt myself if I do that. But I'm pushing myself, so I've slowed down the speed on the treadmill. So if one day I feel like, yo, I'm going to try to do this hour, I wouldn't be scared to do the hour. I would lower the intensity to probably 10 minutes and see, hey, what happens if I do this hour? So I just want to be clear that we're not speaking about all cardio. We're speaking specifically about this interval training. Because it affects your body differently. You're working on the same muscle groups, yes. Cardio is mostly about the cardiovascular system. Fine. But this type of training is different. As Dre said, this is expert, advanced. That's what we're discussing. If you have never done it, right, I know. That's why I wanted to respond to it. I just want to make sure that people understand where we're coming from. Because if you jog on the treadmill for an hour or you walk 10 miles a day, I don't know, whatever it is, it's all good. We're not talking about that. And we don't want to discourage you from that. We're just saying when it comes to interval training, you have to tread softly and really be aware of the things you're doing because you're working on different muscle groups and you're asking your body for a lot more than if you're just doing regular cardio. It's the same as the guys or the people who sprint.
Right.
People who sprint, who go all out for whatever set of time and then take time to recover and then do it again. And that's also interval training. That is a much more demanding style of cardio than walking or jogging or riding your bike. That is totally different. And so that's just what we want to, I just want to be clear that that's what we're saying. We agree, don't agree with, discussing, research. Those are the things that we are speaking about.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's no different than any other activity, right? It's like if I can do 250 bench, just because I could do a 250 bench, I didn't start doing 250 benches. I had to work up to that. So you just coming in, haven't been in the gym in who knows how long, and throwing up 250, that's a mistake. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
that's not where you are. And it's no different with cardio. It's like, don't try to do what I'm doing. I am consistent. Even when when we were doing the half hour and the 40 minutes, I'm doing a half hour and 40 minutes. I never stopped doing cardio. The only thing I'm doing is bringing it up. So you can't do what I'm doing and because you haven't been doing cardio. Now, if you've been a person that's been like, man, you've been consistent, you've been doing cardio for 30 minutes, you feel like, oh, I'm gonna try to take it up to 40 minutes. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, because you've been doing that exercise for a while. if you've been bench pressing 200 and now you want to try 220, yeah, why not? Yeah, give it a try. But if you haven't been doing anything, it would be a huge mistake on your part to be like, well, he could do it, so I'm going to do it. No, you're not there yet. You didn't put the time in that I put in or the time that Jay is putting in. You got to know where you are. And if you're a beginner, hey, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, at a nice slow pace. We're if you're talking about the elliptical, almost no resistance. Get used to the machine and build up. How long is it going to take you to build up? I have no idea. Your body is going to be different from somebody else. This is where age and physical experience, all this plays a part. You have injuries, you don't have injuries, all that plays a part. But at least get started, start tracking your progress, and then you can say, hey, every 2 weeks, I'm going to go up 1 notch or something like that, and see where you are. We've put plenty of videos out that say don't rush your progress. And this is really what we're trying to say now is that I'm doing something at a really high level because I've earned that. I've been consistent with cardio, whether we're talking elliptical, whether we're talking about me riding bikes. Like, I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go there. I used to every year, twice a year, do 2 hours of cardio. Just for no reason. Just be like, yo, it's my birthday. I'm going to do 2 hours of cardio. It's a new year. I'm going to do 2 hours of cardio. So I never stopped doing cardio. You know what I'm saying? So my heart, that's why I was telling you about the heart rate. My heart rate is not at 180 or 200. My heart is like, oh, you always do this. You wild. I got you, though. You know what I'm saying? It's completely different. So I just wanted to add that caveat and we can move on.
All right. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to make sure people were clear on where we're coming from and what type of cardio we're talking about. This is not just regular degular, as they say. A little old school flavor right there. All right, let's move on. So I want to have a little bit of fun. I want to say, I told you so. And I want to respond, or rather follow up on something we spoke about a while ago. A while ago, we spoke about Thor. Thor, Love and Thunder, Thor 4 is coming out. Well, by the time this episode comes out, it'll be out already.
Yep.
So, when the teaser trailer came out, we did a whole segment on the teaser trailer because the internet was up in arms about Natalie Portman. The internet felt that Natalie Portman was on steroids. We said she was not. Dre broke it down on the science level, on the trainer level. She said she added 4 pounds of muscle in 4 months. Dre said that wasn't crazy. I said, hey, I agree. I don't think she's on steroids. I think niggas love to react to shit and go nuts. And now, folks, there's more trailers out. Now, the film is out. Now, we've seen her standing side by side with Chris Hemsworth. Y'all niggas was wrong! I told y'all she wasn't on no fucking steroids. We told y'all she wasn't on no fucking steroids. She don't look big and bulky. She don't look like She-Hulk or some inhuman motherfucker. She looks like a regular person who decided to get their shit together. And let me be clear, she looks great. I'm not saying that she doesn't look great. She looks great. She looks amazing. But she does not look like Lou Ferrigno or Arnold Schwarzenegger in their prime. She doesn't even look like Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth has an amazing body. We've discussed him and his training methods and his lies before. Right. She's not as big as him. She still look like a stick figure compared to him. Why? Because she's not on steroids, folks. She's not. It's super clear that she's not, and I'm so glad. Usually I don't watch multiple trailers because I feel the trailers, which my dad said this probably 20 plus years ago, that the trailers often show you the whole movie now. And that's absolutely right. So when I want to really see a movie, after I see the first trailer, I try not to watch anymore. But I've been going to the movies a lot, and that fucking trailer is everywhere.
Right.
All the different updated versions. And I'm looking at Natalie Portman on the big screen and saying, This who y'all thought was on steroids? This? Well, then I mean, Dre must have the best steroids ever because Dre gotta be on steroids if Natalie Portman is on steroids. And shit, give me a couple months. I'm gonna be on steroids too if that's the case.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, we could take back the tape. We could insert what we said, and I'm gonna say the same thing. What I said then, it's like, what she looks like to me. She looks like a working mom who decided to go to the gym. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
And was consistent.
And that's all right. I mean, and you said it, the studios are going to pay for all the trainers that she need, and et cetera, et cetera. And she just looks like, here's a working mom who probably doesn't go to the gym often, but because she's in this movie, had to, step it up. It's probably somewhere, some contract or whatever that you got, you got to meet with your trainer
Right.
X amount of times. And that's what it looks like. It just looks like somebody who really wasn't going. And started, going. And if it, let's say she was going to the gym, but she was probably doing more like yoga and Pilates and cardio. And her trainer was like, that's nice, but we're going to do some strength training. Like, we got to get some strength training going. And so she probably just stepped up the strength training. And that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a regular working mom that started doing some strength training, and she looks good. That's all.
She looks great.
What I mean?
Doesn't look like she's on steroids.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. Just, and like you were saying, all they saw at that first teaser trailer was a delt. They saw a delt.
Right.
All right. And it was like, ooh, did you see that? And
she's got to be on steroids because look at that delt.
Yeah. And it was just like, okay, you saw a delt. Like, and you saw it for a half a second.
For half a second. You took the words right out my mouth.
And it's like, y'all don't have stuff to talk about because that was not impressive in terms of, if you look at female bodybuilders, if you Google female bodybuilders, or even look at some of these girls on Instagram who are taking all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you could see that how shredded they are, how big they are, and it's completely different. She didn't look anything like that. You know what I'm saying? She just looked like a regular, like I said, working mom who decided to do some strength training. Well, somebody made the decision for her to start doing strength training. That's it.
She signed a contract, like we said. She got with the trainer. She did what was asked of her. She looks good. She looks great. I can't wait to see the movie. I'm trying to see it immediately.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. But, fam, steroids. I'll say it again. Sometimes you gotta know when to shut the fuck up.
Sanjay.
That's it. Like, sometimes you just gotta know when to shut the fuck up.
That's it.
That's what happens when you just quickly react blindly to everything.
Right.
You end up saying wild shit. And listen, Disney wins again. They didn't even need 20 trailers because y'all already broke the internet off of that 2-second thing. Thanks. Another billionaire movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Yeah. That's all.
So we saved that for fun because, I wanted to tease people a little bit, tease the internet a little bit, because it's like, yo, fam, sometimes y'all gotta relax. Like,
that's it, baby.
Y'all don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's it. We keeping it
all right,
short and concise today. I ain't got anything else. You?
I'm out of here like last year.
That's it. See y'all on the next one.
Boom.